I'm Ingrid and I've decided I want to be part of the Booktube community. I found a tag today called the Booktube Newbie Tag and I figure that describes me pretty well. So I thought I'd go ahead and answer some questions to get me started. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? I started a book blog in January of this year and it's just become a really fun outlet for me. I realize that I read books all the time, but I don't have anyone to talk about them with. So blogging really gave me a way to share my thoughts, and I thought that starting a booktube channel would be a good way for me to do the same kind of thing. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things that you bring to booktube? Nothing yet. I love to read. I love to talk about books. I do comedy. I figure we'll just give it a go and see what happens. Question number 3, what are you most excited about for this new channel? I think I'm just really excited to become a more active part of the booktube community. I watch the videos every day, I follow quite a few booktubers, so I thought it would be nice for me to stop being so passive and just watching these videos and actually start making them. I also think it'll be really fun to review some books and get to hear what other people think about the same ones as well. Question number 4. Why do you love read? I think I just love stories. I love storytelling. It's the same reason I studied English and theatre at university, because I just can't get enough of it. I love the way that a book can transport you into another world. It can teach you something about this world that you never knew before. It can open up your mind to like new perspectives that you may never have considered otherwise. It's also just a really relaxing way to spend your time, like when you get home from work and you just want to curl up in bed with a good book. That's me. Question number 5. What book or series got you into reading? I'm actually not sure, because I've been reading my whole life since I was very little. But I think my first rise I can remember being obsessed with was Roald Dahl. The Witches was my all-time favourite book as a child. I also loved George's Marvelous Medicine. I feel like most children at some point went around their mother's kitchen and like started mixing things together, trying to turn it into a magical potion that would turn their art into a giant. But spoiler alert, that doesn't really work. Wouldn't recommend it unless you want your mum to ban you from the kitchen for a little while. Still, it was a good book. I also really loved the Harry Potter series. My dad used to read it to me when I was little. Most recently, I went on a little bit of a reading hiatus during my master's degree, but then I read this book called The Poppy War last year, and it was amazing. So those are definitely some very good books. The next question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the most difficult to overcome? Honestly, I think the effort of making videos on a regular basis. I'm pretty lazy, so we're just gonna have to see what happens. The next question is, where do you read? I've lost track of the numbers at this point. I usually read in bed, but also on buses, when I'm walking to places, and during my lunchtime when I'm at work. I wouldn't recommend trying to read while you're walking unless you have really good spatial awareness, which I don't. You don't want to get hit by a car or something. So far, I've been lucky. And the last question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I try to read a really wide variety of books. I love young adult fiction, I love adult fiction, I love contemporary novels. My go-to genre would probably be sci-fi and fantasy, just because I love the escapism, I love going into a new world, I love really good world building. I also love non-fiction as well, mainly reading other people's memoirs, especially if they're set in a different culture or a different time period. I think it's really interesting learning about the different ways that people live their lives and seeing things from somebody else's unique perspective. So those are probably the kinds of books I'm initially going to be reviewing on this channel. I'm probably going to start branching out a little bit more. I like thrillers sometimes, but I haven't read that many. I like a good mystery sometimes. Haven't read that many. We'll have to see what happens. Okay, so that's all for the Booktube Newbie Tag. My plan is to post once a week on a Friday because I have Thursdays off, so that gives me time to film and edit my videos. I also have a couple of musical comedy videos in the works. If you don't know, I also do musical comedy, so if you'd like to see any of that kind of content, please subscribe. I don't really know how to end these videos yet. I haven't had time to figure it out, so I hope that you have a beautiful